Okay, this one comes from Christopher Perrott, and it's quite a wordy one, so I'm going to read this out as it's sort of on the screen. The original Mark I cartridge had 14 pins per side, which effectively equates to 28 contacts. Later, the Mark II cartridge, like the one that I was showing in the particular video I'm going to reference in a sec, had 17 pins per side, which equates to 34 contacts. The ADP1 adapter maps the 28 contacts to the 34 contacts, so that's obviously making the smaller cartridge into the bigger cartridge, so we all know about that. 3D printing a new case would not be sufficient. A circuit board with copper traces and a connector is what's needed. But the DX7 Mark II connector has a few control lines more than a Mark I, especially those mysterious CT0 and CT1 lines, supposed to tell the DX7 Mark II which cartridge is inserted. Do you think those lines are left floating as they don't exist on the Mark I connector? I can't say for sure, but the CT0 CT1 would likely be a hardwire or to ground or a VCC, so that the DX7 Mark II would be able to read it. Okay, thanks. I'm just about to try and test a PCB of my own to replicate the DX7 cartridge on a DX7 Mark II without the use of the ADP1. We'll tie the CTO and CT1 grounds to ground as you suggest, fingers crossed. And then there's somebody else responded saying, I don't think the grounds will work. There is an article showing two valid combinations. I've not confirmed this. Trying to tie the CT0 to ground, CT1 floating pulled up to the VCC declares a DX7 cart with 16 banks, and trying to tie the CT1 to ground, CT0 floating pulled up to the VCC declares the DX7 cartridge with 4 banks. Pulling both to ground results in no cart. Now, that is actually a very comprehensive reply to a piece I did on camera in January 2016, so it's a long time ago now, given this is 2019, about the ADP1 adapter cartridge. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you have a DX7 Mark I and a DX7 Mark II, the cartridge on the Mark II is bigger than the cartridge on the Mark I. So if you buy Mark I cartridges, you need some way of adapting the cartridge to play on the Mark II. In similar contrast, a card that is designed for the Mark II won't work on the Mark I because there is no adapter cartridge going the other way. So I think my statement was taken out of context slightly on this one. So firstly, I should state that my comment relating to 3D printing was actually aimed at printing the plastic cartridge case, so giving you a case in which to fit the new cartridge in, because effectively that is all the ADP1 is, and they are like gold dust to find. So if you could print up a 3D cartridge or 3D carrier, you could put the cartridge inside it. But there is a valid point here, because obviously it goes from 28 contacts to 34 contacts. So the Mark I is 28, the Mark II is 34. So you've got to be able to bridge and map those contacts across. And that's the piece that this chap Christopher is trying to say, is that you can't just build a cartridge, you've got to put some sort of circuit board in there to actually map the two from one to the other. However, what's really interesting is if you look at the thread, you will see that these two guys have been banging things backwards and forwards, and effectively they are starting to work out what the CT0 and CT1 actually do. So you could actually build a cartridge. So if you were so inclined, you probably could build a cartridge, 3D print one half, insert the copper track, 3D print the other half, and with a bit of glue stick them together. Next one. It starts, hello, does the procedure also apply to the DX7 Mark I? It says on the screen of my synth, battery change. This is a response to a video I did a long time ago. Again, replace the battery on a DX7 and upgrade to a normal CR232 battery. In fact, I am actually going to do another video about this, because at the time I tied the battery back and put it into another area of the keyboard, and I've never ever been really satisfied with that solution. So I am actually going to update the solution with a coin caddy and show you how to do that on the channel relatively shortly. But in answer to your specific question, the DX7 Mk1 and the DX7 Mk2 both have the battery roughly in the same place in the keyboard. So the answer to your question is yes. Okay, the next one comes from ROT32116. Is the PG1000 rack mountable? And I have to be honest and say I have never seen rack components for the PG1000. Similarly, I've never seen rack components for the 800. Is it the 800? Or, sorry, there's probably the 300 and the 200. I've never seen rack mountable ears for any of them. There's never been any rack mount kits I've seen published, and I've never seen it published in the literature from Roland either. That's not to say you couldn't make them. I've just never seen them advertised anywhere in the literature of the day, and I've got quite a lot of literature from when these things were originally marketed and published. So, sorry, if you're going to make your own, I think that's where you're going. And then on the flip side of that, of course, is there was a rack mountable programmer, and it was for the MKS70, I believe. And I have seen that, and the DTronics version was also rack mountable. So there you go. Why they made it for only one, I have no idea. And the final one for this mailbag, from Blue Name. Is it suitable to control the DEXED software instead? So this is referring to the DTronics DT7 that I bought last year, and I just sort of got it out of storage and started playing with it seriously. So that unboxing video I did was on June, it was more or less a year ago, June 2018. I've got to be honest and say I do not have a DEXED. Okay, I have an original DX7, so I have no reason to have DEXED, and I just never bothered to invest the time in playing with DEXED. So I am sorry, I can't really answer this question with authority. But I'm assuming that DEXED allows you to route a MIDI channel into it, so you can isolate a MIDI channel and route that channel into the software. And if you can do that, and DEXED will take control commands that the DX7 is expecting, then I see no reason why it will not work with DEXED. But again, I can't speak with authority because I do not have the software, and therefore I have never tried it. Sorry. So it's that point where I say, did you enjoy it? Because if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure by now, if you didn't enjoy it, you've given this video a thumbs down. That's just life. Not everybody enjoys everything, and I recognise that. Over here somewhere is a subscribe button. If you press the subscribe button, every time I upload content to the channel, you'll get a notification. I know I upload videos like this, which is sort of the rant. I upload videos about mailbag items, which is where you or your friends or other YouTubers have left comments on the channel about specific pieces of equipment, and I try to answer those. And I also do videos about the equipment that is within my studio, how to use it, how to take it apart, and sometimes how to repair it. That's what you get from subscribing. It'd be wonderful to see you as a subscriber at some point. Over here will be two videos. One will always be the latest video that I've published to the channel. Another video will be selected at random from the channel based on your preferences by a YouTube algorithm, but it will always be a video from my channel. All that's left for me to do is say I hope to see you again soon, and bye bye.